All right, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of mine heart be acceptable in your sight. He is our strength and our Redeemer, and it is in His name, which is His authority, that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect today's message or tonight's message. Aman. Hola, mi nombre es Kofi. ¿Cómo está? Bonjour, je m'appelle Kofi. Ça va? Um, Barakallah, Cham Yahava, Anai Kofi, headed to Servants of Christ, Masalam Chi. Hello, everybody. I am Pastor Kofi, pastor of Servants of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being the voice of the voices and speaking the unspoken. Thank you, everybody, for being on. We once again give all praise and honor to the Most High. We give all praise and honor to Him for my wife, the Honorable Amma, who is on. Thank you, babe, for being on. Love you very much. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. And so, those of you who support her, continue to support her, supporting the health of our diaspora, we thank you so much for doing so, and we appreciate you. And we look forward to continuing in what the Most High has for us, His people, in this present day, in this moment, in this time, in this season. Praise Yah. So we're going to get ready to go right into our topic for tonight, and we'll get ready to do our Bible pledge before we start. So if you'd like to join us for that, feel free to. I will try to stand and recite it on this evening. If you're able to stand or reverence the word or reverence it just by saying the Bible pledge, of course, in any kind of way, shape, or form, please feel free to do so with us. Let's see. But we are going to go ahead and stand together and do our Bible pledge. Give me 1 second. Our talks with Pastor Yomi should be uploaded for those who are part of Patreon as well. So you should be able to go on there and catch all of those items if you'd like to, including what was preached Wednesday, Thursday, and even this evening. Give me 1 second. Sorry, you guys. Having a little bit of issue. Okay. All righty. So we're going to get ready to do our Bible pledge. Once again, if you're able to stand with us, we'd love to have you do so with us. We appreciate you. And before we do so, let me go ahead and say hello to everybody real quick. All righty. I think we're ready to go. And we do have some stuff on Patreon I've been trying to post for a little bit, but I guess because of lack of signal, it hasn't come up yet. But we will get that to you guys very soon as well. Praise Yah. All righty. So we'll go ahead and say our Bible pledge real quick and we'll get started. Bible pledge goes as follows. This is my Bible. This is my sword. And this will I trust. For Yahshua is Lord. No sword of God shall ever be heard. But this is my Bible. And this is Yah's word. Hashem Yehavach. Amen. Amen. Alrighty. So tonight, we're going to talk about propaganda. Propaganda is easier to swallow. And I'm not talking about TD Jakes. We shouldn't allow words to go ahead and get cursed to where we're afraid to use them. So there is no diddy, no pause on, there's no diddy on this, no pause on this. I mean exactly what I say and the way the words are originally intended, right? The propaganda is easy to swallow, it's easy to accept, it's easy to comprehend and understand. Aman, how you doing? Minister Shantae, how you doing? Sister Mignon, how you doing? Bold Servant, how you doing? Brewdog, Big Charlie, what's up? How you doing? Sister Sylvia, how you doing? Sister Monica, Sister Tanisha, Sister Deborah. And everybody, thank you for your love, likes, shares, hitting notifications, tab, subscription, all that great stuff. How you doing, D? Minister Morel, Lottie Dottie, everybody, we appreciate you. Thanks for being on once again. To Elder Alma, the Honorable Maya, to Netra, everybody, we appreciate you. So propaganda is easier to swallow. Propaganda is very easy to be accepted. I won't be on that long because we have to get ready for tomorrow. We wanted to make sure that we were faithful for today. I will be on tomorrow for our live session, and we will have our podcast this week. Prayerfully, the podcast will start on time. Last week was my fault. But and how you doing, Sister Carla? How you doing, Sister Knight? So when we talk about propaganda, right? Propaganda is something that is extremely important for us to catch. Matter of fact, let's look up the definition of propaganda real quick. What is the definition of propaganda? If you were to do a quick Google search, you would discover that propaganda is the dissemination of information, facts, arguments, rumors, half truths, or lies to influence public opinion. All right, I'm going to read that again. This is just this is from the Britannica, right? From Britannica.com. So, and this is dealing with sociology and society. According to them, they would say propaganda is the dissemination of information. So it's giving information, right? You said New Testament is idolatry. Well, if that's your belief system, because once again, you probably are under the impression that since somebody wrote the word old in front of one and new in front of the other, that therefore, like, we should listen to what those people said and not realize that the law, the Tanakh, or the scrolls, the law is something that never stopped at anything that a king decrees is law. But if that's your belief system, that's your belief system, cool, right? Nevertheless, propaganda is the dissemination of information. That's my focus on tonight. That's what I'm sent to talk about. And it is also what? Facts. Now, remember, we talked about that somebody would talk about a fact. And because we don't study law, we don't recognize what law is, even though we should know the law greater times from the Pharisees. We don't recognize that a fact does not always mean it's a truth. A fact is presented unto you, right? If somebody's presented something to you as fact, it doesn't mean that the fact cannot be fictional at all. Okay, cool, Ron, you got it. You the man. Anything else that has to do with what we're talking about tonight? Or if you wouldn't, I hope you have a great night, right? But propaganda, once again, the dissemination of information. Facts are not necessarily always true. Just because you think of something as a fact does not mean so, right? Right? Arguments, rumors, half truths, or lies. And we talked about this before, that a half truth is always a whole lie, right? So you have people that are giving whole lies and doing all these different things or whatever. Thank you, babe. I see you. And it's these things are done to what? To influence public opinion, right? And how you doing, Mr. Blitz? Thanks for being part of the community. So these things are done to what? To influence the public opinion, right? This is why these things are done. These things are done on purpose to what? To influence the public opinion. So we don't realize and recognize that there are a lot of things that are going on, and they're propaganda, right? For example, you see. For example, you were told something about Al Qaeda, right? Al Qaeda, big deal, September 11th. Problem is, there's no such thing as Al Qaeda. Somebody says, "Oh no, there's no such thing as Al Qaeda." No. The United States of America made that up so that you would believe that Al Qaeda was this huge network. And I'm not saying there was no networking, but that everything was going down, and that Osama bin Laden had this perfect network. And the reality of the matter is, if you do some reading and some research, Osama bin Laden, who hated the United States of America and probably wasn't saddened by what happened to the Twin Towers, he himself didn't make the call. One of his people one of his persons who worked underneath him pushed the issue, right? And just did it. And he had to kind of be like, okay, I guess we in this now. But he never wanted to do it. Right, Al Qaeda is Arabic for alphabet, right? But even in that, there is no such thing as a group of people called the Al Qaeda, right? That was something that was put together by the United States corporation, by the CIA, by the FBI, by something they wanted to make sure that everybody was okay with what they were going to be doing, and just say we're doing it to go after, Al Qaeda and everybody who's the leader of it. By the way, there's still a lot of Al Qaeda that's free. There's a lot of Al Qaeda that actually work for the U.S. government now. Just like after World War II, many Nazis are the reasons why anything rocket related happened for many people. And by the way, what was it? Operation Paperclip. Have you guys ever studied Operation Paperclip? You probably heard of it, but have you ever studied Operation Paperclip? Right? A lot of people don't know. They call it Operation Paperclip because obviously, first of all, you can't say exactly what it is that they're doing. But secondly, Operation Paperclip, they would have these files or whatever, and would have certain paper clips or whatever, and have a lot of information clipped together. And a lot of Germans, as we're thinking, America either went over to Germany and got them, or Nazis were running and Americans found them and then said, "Hey, work for us." The reality is, a lot of Germans, if they knew that they had done certain things as far as technology, they just sat and wait. They knew that Americans, they knew that the French, they knew that the English, they knew that the Russians were coming looking for them. So why would you worry about such things? You go where you're going to be looked for, right? Or people are looking for you. People are looking, look, you were using bombs to destroy. People want to keep destroying with bombs. They're going to come to the people that helped. They're looking for people to help to form stuff like the Blitzkrieg, which was a very fast way that the Germans were going ahead and fighting against people. So if they were able to blitzkrieg people, and you want to blitz people, so to speak, blitzkrieg, even blitz, they don't say blitzkrieg people, but when you say blitz, when you say you're going to blitz somebody in football, right, in American football, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about blitzkrieg. It's going to be done so fast that there shouldn't be any way of trying to come against the attack. You see, like, these are terms that come from other people, propaganda, and it's become so regular. Excuse me. It's become so regularly used in the fabric of our society, we don't even think to ourselves, where does blitz even come from? Right? How you doing, Jay? Right, but go to Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was a secret United States intelligence program. It was more than 1,600 scientists, probably a lot more, but that's why they say more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians were taken from the former Nazi Germany to the U.S. government for employment after the end of World War II in Europe between the years of 1945 and 1959. So that means that so when does the war end? Right? The war doesn't end in 1944 or 1945. It keeps on going for a tiny bit, especially in certain places. So while the war was still going on and Germany is still your enemy, they're still doing what? Hey, come on and work for us. We'll pay you. We'll give you a certain amount or whatever. Go ahead, and now we'll leave you alone. By the way, one of the ways that you can see some of the Nazis that are there, right? If you would look these things up, praise God. One of the things and how you doing, Cultural Prospect? One of the things you can look up if you're looking for Nazis, that's not the only way, but there's a way that you can find a certain amount, a pretty decent percentage, is even in pictures that were taken with presidents, with generals, all different people, with people who are supposed to be you're supposed to be anti them. They're supposed to be your enemy, but you guys are hanging out. How can we tell? The Germans used to do a certain type of fencing. Please forgive me at the moment. I can't recall what they called it, but basically it was fencing. And the goal of the fencing was to try and see if you could actually not only, maybe stick somebody and stuff without hurting them, but also you would try to see if you could get slashes on their face. And some of the Germans loved to fencing, and they wanted to get the slashing on your face because there was a certain group of elites, especially in the Nazis and young Nazis that were coming up, and the Nazi officers specifically that were taking something that had already, truthfully, it had already been done in their families and stuff before the Nazi Party existed. But they started having these fencing matches and things of that nature. And when they had stuff that happened with their face, right? When they had things that happened with their face, they were able to... They basically would have the scars. So you could tell certain people, even though Hitler had actually outlawed it, you could still tell certain people were fencing and that they were getting these marks, and you'd have all these young soldiers and sometimes older ones with marks on their face. Now, if you look for those pictures, right, and you see the Nazi officers, you'll see who they are. Then here's the thing. Now look in Russia, look in France, look in the UK, and look in the United States of America, look in Canada, right? Look in Argentina, look in different places around the world, and you'll start seeing Germans with these marks on their face, some of which are on the run, and some of which have already been hired by some of these other countries to make sure that they help them in the Cold War, or even for them to help to make sure that they can get as much information as what actually happened on whatever that Germany was doing. Right? Everybody wanted information. The information was necessary. It was there, but you would have these people with scars on their faces and everything sitting right there, right next to your president. And these people were taken up, right? But in between 1945 and 1959, that means some of them were locked up. They still got them. That means some of them were in other countries. They captured them, and then instead of giving them to the Ashkenazis who said, hey, we want revenge on them, they said, we couldn't find them, but then you see them working for the government. You're not going to get that person back, right? Operation Paperclip was serious. right? Operation Paperclip. And the United States of America had to tell people the truth about Operation Paperclip because people weren't that stupid, dumb, or slow. There's a watch party we're going to have at some point, but there's a big, huge thing. I can't recall the name. There was this huge contingency of Americans who were obviously into nationalism, into eugenics, into classism, into racism. And there was a German term that they used to use where there were a lot of people in the United States of America that actually dressed up as Germans, and they believed in something that was called like the discipline in German or something like that, and they would come together, and they would have all this stuff together. And so a lot of people, when the Nazis started, especially in World War II, Americans, a lot of them were isolationists, didn't want to go in, but that's the only thing they tell us is that you who are Americans were an isolationist country, and therefore you didn't want to join because of this, that, whatever. But also, here's a problem, is that they had German values, and Adolf Hitler was basically doing the same thing that this German party that had swept over America was doing. It was propaganda. So there were already Americans being made ready for what Hitler was going to do. They used to have Nazi party meetings that filled up Madison Square Garden, that would fill up, the Gala, that would fill up Broadway, that would have it to where they had to shut down streets. They'd have to hire police officers to protect the Nazis who were going to be going around everywhere, right? And the Nazis would beat people up in the middle of their meetings and all these different things. You've been taught that the Nazis were somebody who were your enemy, but it's kind of like the Civil War, when the United States of America finally joined the fight, because the president at the time wanted to try and get power, and others who the president worked for wanted power. When the United States of America joined the fight, the Nazis, if we just be honest, were fighting against themselves when they fought against the United States of America. They were fighting against themselves when they fought against the British. They were fighting against themselves when they fought against, well, not yet, when they fought against the Russians. Russians are a little different, right? They were fighting against themselves. They were fighting against themselves, therefore, when they fought the Italians. They were fighting against themselves when they fought the Japanese. There are people that don't even tell you the truth, that the Japanese were the ones who were coming around, or it was the Americans, rather, who were going around Japanese territory and were floating around there with subs and things. And the Japanese figured, okay, America on the low is low key out here doing this, that, and the third. So they said, we're going to do what we do. German American Federation, that could be another name for it. It's another name, but I'll try to make sure. I've been saying that for like a couple of days now. I'm gonna go find it. I got to watch the videos and read some of the books before I feel like I'm all the way equipped. But who knows? Maybe I'll have the information. But that sounds like they could be another name for a German American Federation. But these things are propaganda. So you don't realize that one of the reasons you didn't even want to go to war was because it was propaganda. We don't even think about that. We talk about the Germans and the Nazis as if they were a whole separate people. A lot of these American families out here are German. It's like when you talk about these people who are like, why are they supporting Israel? A lot of the people who were slave owners during chattel slavery are Ashkenazi. You say all this stuff about why are these people so anti-Irish and stuff? Well, these people are English. The English hated the Irish. That's why if you ever get a chance to go to Ireland and you talk to the Irish about people who say that they're American Irish, a lot of the Irish over there can't stand American Irish people because they don't know their culture. They're not wise about certain things. They don't know their history. And on top of that, they're very racist. I didn't say all Irish. It doesn't mean that there are no people in Ireland who are not racist, right? They're just starting to learn about a lot of Black culture and getting introduced to us as a people as well, to be honest with you, right? But they even learned stuff like they came over to the United States of America and learned about what happened with King and marches and stuff, and then had their own marches that led up to their Bloody Friday, I think it is over there. That was really famous or infamous for what happened to their people, was they tried to march, with non-violently. Like these are things that are there, and it's propaganda. We're taught all this stuff. This is why you got to even be careful. Even the term negro, like we told you before, is a term of endearment for us because we know who a negro is, and there are certain people that don't like negros or Negroes. But believe it or not, a lot of people who speak Spanish, Negro is a term of endearment because they know there's a difference between marron or a black or a brown person, and negro, a specific type of brown person. You think of them as Black because the people they call negros or Negroes were actually, as a matter of fact, those people were in fact very dark. Okay, please do. right? Like, so we don't know those things, but like, just was chilling with some of the SOC family, and they hosted us, and Papa of the house, he's negro to Mama, right? Papa of the house, he's negro to Mama. There's a term of endearment. She loves him because he's negro, and they know what that means. They know where they come from. They know that they're one of us, right? You see what I'm saying? We've been taught a lot of different stuff. So Negro became something that was bad when they tried to tell you that when they got you on that whole Negro land mindset and weaponized it, propaganda. And I'm sorry, I know my face has pretty much disappeared. I won't be on here too much longer. I was supposed to be done already. Praise God. How you doing, Minister Jenny? You said yes. Your best friend's mother used to call you negrito. Yeah, and it's a term of endearment. Negrita, negrito, just like somebody might say abuelita or abuelito, right? That's their grandparent. I used to just think that meant little grandmother or something, which it could be like, oh, that's cute little grandmother, but it's also a term of endearment, right? That's my abuela. Yes, that's like proper, but my abuelita, oh, okay, like that's serious. Like she's really important to me. Thank you, Berta. You see, so propaganda messes us up in many different ways. That's why I make it a point to always say, realize that so-called white people had to be mistaught as well. You have to use propaganda. Propaganda is what allows a little baby to smile when she sees an adult hanging, right? Like those are things that are there. That's propaganda. Propaganda is easier for people to accept than the truth. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting bit up here. My wife is helping me out. Elder Alma's helping me out. Excuse me. So thank you, man. So as we get ready to take our leave for this evening, like just for thank you, it makes a difference. So propaganda is something that's used. Matter of fact, if you look at Adolf Hitler, how you doing, Aaron? Hitler said that if you want people to believe something, tell a lie, and not only tell a lie, the bigger the lie, the more they'll believe it. He also said, that he also said the truth. Same thing that the Bible says. He said things along the lines of, people incline their ears to fables. They don't want to hear truth. They don't want to hear reality, right? They want to be able to hear something that is stretched. And of course, in any lie, even if it's a half truth, right? A half truth is still a whole lie. If I can use a half truth to establish you as better than somebody, and not to be on a level that you might need to improve in, oh, how many people would believe that off the rip, right? So just kind of be aware that the propaganda is easy to swallow. Propaganda is easier. A lot of people don't have time for the sincere milk, but they got time for propaganda, right? And a lot of us, we have propaganda as well, because propaganda is not just created on what we consider to be the evil side. There's a lot of our brothers and sisters that have a lot of propaganda. They're preaching things to create ideals. An ideal with an L, an ideal is anything that's created to support your narrative. And so that means that we have to say the Bible not real. If that means that we have to say everything in its fake, that's the way you have to do this thing where the New Testament and Old Testament are a thing, even though somebody wrote wrote that in. If that means that we have to say that we're pastors, even though we don't follow law, right? Propaganda is used in many different ways. And we have been raised off it so much that just like that term blitz and blitzkrieg, you'll use it in a football game and you'll talk about your favorite team and you'll not even realize you're talking about a Nazi way of attack. You shouldn't even think about calling something a blitz. You should be prepared to make sure that you're anti-blitz so that you can protect yourself from the blitz. You see, there's a lot of different things. What about even the highways? People don't even, I'm not saying don't use a highway, right? But hear what I'm saying. Even the highways were controlled. What you call highways today was created by Adolf Hitler, by Nazis. A lot of people don't know that. It was created so that they could move from one place to the other. If you look at a highway is created even to make sure that an airplane could land on a highway. A highway is created to make sure that tanks and stuff can go on a highway, right? If you look at a highway is not just made just for cars, right? Cars, the highway should be great enough to carry cars, but if you look every once in a while, you'll see Americans are using highways to be able to get stuff from one place to the other. The soldiers, right, will use the highways to get things done, right? If you have to have the National Guard, they'll use the highways to get things done, to keep things moving, right? Because the highway was created for war. And so here's the propaganda. Once the United States of America realized how well it worked for war, they came back to you, who call yourself American still, and they said, hey, we need highways, and we need you to pay taxes and just give money and pay extra and donate your time, talent, effort, and all that to helping us to build highways, because we want to make sure that we can get to and from everything. And so you were given a half truth. And the reality is as though they made the highways for war. Thank you. So that's what the highway is for. So the same thing, propaganda. A lot of stuff is preached. A lot of stuff is taught to us. A lot of propaganda is done church-wise. It's done camp-wise. It's done to say sisters can't preach. It's done to make sure that brothers can't preach as much. It's done to make sure that we are called hyper-masculine and toxic in being masculine. It's used to say that sisters are too feminine. Right now, sisters are supposed to be mothers, wives, daughters, have 2 9-to-5s, take care of all the children, bend over for any sexual need as necessary, all this stuff. This is propaganda, right? There's some half truth. Is it true that I heard a sister say this earlier, it blessed my soul. She said, don't find a woman who's going to work. She was like, because if you want me to be a wife, like if you want me to do my actual wife duties, mother duties, stuff like that, even sexually, all these different things that you were bringing up, she said, you need to make sure that I have time. And if but she said, don't find somebody that's a worker, even though I'm being my work, right? That's not what she was saying. But she said, don't find somebody that got to have a job all day. She said, find somebody who's capable as a wife. She said, as a wife, I should be capable to multiply. So if necessary, if something's going on and you can't do whatever, and I got to step in, I got to help out. Oh, I'm capable. But until then, right? Like, let me do what I'm supposed to do. Now, that's if you want that, by the way. I'm not saying every woman has to be at home, right? Even though we've discussed before, order, instruction, stuff, and submission and things of that nature, and that there's not a woman that necessarily wants to have a job. But at the same time, we don't believe that you as a woman, as a wife, if you want to, or want to work or do whatever, right? That's your prerogative, right? I'm not here to tell women they can't work. Well, I'm just saying, right? She made the point to say there's a difference. Find somebody that's capable. If I have to roll up my sleeves, I roll them up. If I have to if I have to do all that and watch the children for a season or two, I'll do all those things. But don't just depend on me to do those things. Don't depend on me to have this, that, or whatever, right? She was talking. She was like, I already have 2 jobs at this moment. She was like, say I am your wife, like hypothetically. She was like, if I got 2 jobs, then maybe you should have 4. So find somebody who's capable, but find somebody who you're going to make sure still in some way you're going to secure her in some way, shape, or form. And it's not just going to be she's doing everything. She's supposed to be basically poured out to you. That being said, though, I know we took a little turn at the end there. I appreciate y'all, fam. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and try to finish some things up. And those who are in Tampa tomorrow, we already sent some information out to you. I'll probably send some out again this evening, and then some out, some out later today, early in the rising, and in the afternoon tomorrow. Those who are in Tampa or those who are close and going to try and meet us in Tampa, we'll be meeting at 12 p.m. at the beach. I don't even have the name. Do I have the name of the beach? I think I do. I normally don't put stuff out even this early. If somebody say it's late, no, I normally don't even put stuff out. What is the name of that beach? Y'all give me a second. I got the name of the... I thought I had the name of the beach. I guess I don't. Hold on one second then. Let me find it real quick. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. Where is that? Sorry, family. Still can't find it. This technology kicking my butt. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Let's get TikTok back on if we can. Oh, my greatness. All right. Time to get on the road. Finish this up tonight. Sorry about that. So those who are meeting us up, we're going to be... And now I forgot it again. Oh, my greatness. Come on. Okay. Wow. All this noise coming from over there. All right, let's finish this up. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, everybody. All right. We're going to. Those in Tampa. We're going to be meeting at Clearwater Beach. Clearwater Beach. And we have a specific address that we'll give everybody to meet at. Okay. And I think we already got chicken taken care of, water taken care of, frisbee and football taken care of. Somebody's bringing some snacks and other things. And we might even have, depending on how time works, we might have time to make sure we get some boogie boards and stuff. There might even be a place to kayak over there, stuff like that. But we'll have a bunch of little babies running around. I'm going to be excited about that. We'll have a bunch of adults, of course, as well. So we look forward to seeing you all. And hopefully you guys will join us for that. And we'll be continuing to celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Masa Shalom to each and every one of you. Unleavened is just what we would call it, Masa or Matzah. But we say Masa Shalom, or peace be upon you during this time of unleavened, or peace be upon you during the Feast of Unleavened Bread, or some of you want to say happy Feast of Unleavened Bread, etc. We thank you guys for being on. We appreciate you. You guys take care. Shabbat Shalom to you as well. If you're going by the Gregorian calendar, enjoy your Shabbat, and hopefully we'll talk to you all soon. So thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow during the live session. Ministerial staff, if anybody wants to step up, I'll try to put something out in our little chat text stream. If you would like, somebody would like to step up for tomorrow, I'll try to talk to Apostle Yomi and see if he can be ready to let you guys speak tomorrow on my behalf, if anybody would like to. But thank you guys again. Appreciate you. Take care. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And yeah, you guys have an excellent day. Sisters, don't forget tomorrow, 7:00 p.m. Eastern New York time, women's meeting. Don't forget about that as well. Okay. And tomorrow it'll be from 1 to 4. Those who are meeting in person, it'll be from 1 to 4. If we do any kind of thing, any live session or anything for Shabbat, I might, depending on how stuff is going, if you want to try and look for us on the original TikTok channel at 1:00 p.m. Eastern New York time, maybe I'll do like a quick message for our Masah Shalom. And if you want to look from there and watch all the babies and everybody enjoying themselves, I guess you can do that. But if you want to come in, maybe we'll try to see if we can have like some kind of quick session. Just check in with us. I can't guarantee it'll happen because I don't know what the setup's going to be. But thank you all again. Appreciate you. We give our honor and praise to the Most High. Do not forget to support each other in business dealings. #SOC. We give our honor and praise to the Most High. We give our honor and praise to Him for my wife, the Honorable Amma, who lives a life that's able to be honored. As always, check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. We thank everybody again. We appreciate you, and we're going to get on the road. So, as always, it's been Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant to Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time by being a voice of the voiceless and speaking the unspoken. And until I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again, please remember, as always, that you are loved, you're necessary, you're majestic, you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in this system no longer have to be of it. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Masah Shalom. We shall see you tomorrow. Don't forget your affirmations. Take care, family. Peace.